We all
Oh,
know
yeah.
Chertoff has connections with these things, and he was out there promoting them day one. We need these scanners. We need these scanners. They were kind of on the back burner because people didn't think we really needed them. We've seen John Corbett, who sewed a pocket into the side of his shirt and got a little metal plate through. So these things aren't.
Yeah.
I mean, a guy with simple home ec skills can defeat these so-called security systems.
That's right.
And on top of that, you have to deal with the TSA goons who, if you don't want to go through their microwave scanners, then they want to put their hands all over your body, which is a whole nother gross violation. And it's disgusting. And they're attacking the portion of our population who's actually helping the economy, the people who travel on vacation, the people who travel for work. What you're going to see is less of this. We've already seen it. We've seen, American Airlines is about to file for bankruptcy. This has a lot of implications, and all this is paying off one small group of these, body scanner manufacturers. These guys are getting the money. Somebody's getting the payoffs, and now TSA wants more money. They want to actually go in. The Democrats want to double the travel fee. And this is all in the name of stopping Al-Qaeda, and it doesn't work. We all know it doesn't work. It's total horse manure.
Yeah, and it's absolutely the case. And this has major economic ramifications for all of us. As you've already noted, airlines have been really hurting since they basically have ceded, especially in recent years, past 10 years, all security responsibilities over to the TSA. And the TSA is looking to expand, as you've already noted. They're not just looking for airports anymore. They're looking to go into bus stations. They're looking to go to train stations. And, by golly, I know in Tennessee, they're doing, X-ray scans of passing trucks. Instead of just getting a radar detector in order to set up speed traps, they're going to be scanning you from the road. And I mean, this is really out of line, and that is not a way for a country to treat its citizens. I mean, we are essentially, by walking through an airport, we are presumed guilty until proven innocent.
All that's ridiculous unless you're post World War II East Germany or the USSR after World War II. That's how they treated their citizens.
These are fundamental human rights. It's not just us. I mean, if the United States is supposed to be an example of liberty, and we haven't been that for who knows how long at this point. But even if we were, this is not a good way of promoting our values, right?
Right.
If we're supposed to be a land where we're supposed to be free, if you're not secure in your person and you're from search and seizure that are unwarranted, that are not without probable cause, this is a big problem, and I think people are really picking up on that. I mean, part of the reason that we really got involved heavily in Austin with David Simpson's legislation is that we kind of saw this convergence of multiple things at once. Picking an issue that not just, a few liberty-minded people care about, but that, hey, there's a lot of people on the other side who don't share most of our values. They care about it too. We can bring them in and we can share our values with them by creating value with them.
Sure.
So we bring them in and we say, let's work together. So it's amazing how, our efforts, if you go to Stop Austin Scanners, you can see a lot of the groups that signed on basically to this mission of taking down the TSA in Texas. And when you can bring together, the Travis County Libertarian Party and the Travis County Republican Party and the ACLU and ChangeAustin.org, or I may be misquoting here. I've been talking about Change Austin recently, but when you can get all these different groups together who do have different ideologies, and you can get them together on this simple issue and say, look, enough is enough. We've got to do something. That's a significant thing, and it means you're on the right track, I think.
It is, and I think we showed our power. It was last year, I don't remember the exact month, but Alex was on the air. He called for a spontaneous protest at the Capitol, and we had at least 200 people show up. And
sure.
within 3 hours, he got off the air at 2. At 5 o'clock, we were there, and we went through those halls, hooting and hollering, telling these people we weren't going to take it. We didn't like it. Our voice was heard. They still, using David Dewhurst, the CIA agent who's now running for Texas U.S. Senator out of Texas, he's now he helped kill that bill, even though he claimed he didn't. Perry really didn't want it. He acted like he did, and we all know he's just a con artist as well. And these guys are working behind the scenes to kill this stuff under, threats from the national government, which we should be saying, hey, start a blockade. See what's going to happen. You're not going to blockade us. We have the right to travel. And you can't stop that. And we have to start, asserting ourselves to these people to let them know that, and it's happening. It's slowly happening. Rand Paul's starting a Stop the TSA movement, which is, part of the body scanner thing. It's a whole nother issue of the groping. But it works hand in hand. They put those in there, I think, to try to see if they could go along with it. They're just trying to push it incrementally. Oh, here, now we have to, bring you in the back room and put on the rubber glove, because that's the only way that we can keep you safe from Al-Qaeda, is to make sure every part of you is clean. You probably saw the South Park episode with the TSA. It was...
Actually, I've heard about it, but I haven't watched it. I kind of want to. It sounds pretty ridiculous.
Let me tell you, I don't watch a lot of South Park just because I don't have time. But that episode hit the nail on the head, the Toilet Security Administration. So, what's next in your fight? When are we going to see more legislation in Texas to combat these scanners?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would, kind of following up on what you were previously saying, like, what can you do now? Is actually pretty simple. Keep educating the people about the hazards of these systems. Try to get people to persuade them to not go through these systems. Opt out as much as you can. If you're going to travel and you're going to go through an airport, just opt out. It's for your own safety, believe me. And as best you can. I mean, I know it's really uncomfortable getting felt up by these morons, but because they don't. I mean, it's ridiculous that they would do that. But when they do, tell them things like, I'm really sorry. Tell the TSA, just be nice to them at least. Some of them, some of them really do dislike what they are doing.
I don't know. I think a lot of them like what they're doing. I think it's pretty. Well, I've been through that. It's true.
But I've also definitely been, I've seen people who really dislike what's going on. But make them feel a little nervous. Say things like, I'm really sorry that you have to do that. This is what's required of you for this kind of job. Or say, I really pray to God that you get a new job as quickly as possible. Things that make them feel even more uncomfortable, and maybe they'll start thinking about what they're doing even more. Because look, if it comes from the ground up, things are going to happen. So that's the first thing. Make sure that if you travel, keep opting out, stay away from those scanners. They're not good for your body. As uncomfortable as it is to get felt up, it's better than the types of health risks that can be at your doorstep if you start going through the scanners too much. So the second thing is, in Texas, we have very short legislative sessions and very short tenures for legislators. David Simpson is up for re-election in 2011. Obviously, I'm sure you guys can't necessarily endorse him. But I can. And so I hope that if you're, interested in these sorts of things, take a look at his campaign and see what you think. If you like what he stands for, then maybe consider helping him out. We're going to be trying, if he's reelected, to get this stuff back in motion. And I know that he's committed to bringing this forward in the legislature once again in 2013. When the session starts, and assuming he's reelected. In fact, it's looking pretty good because his constituents pretty much love him, and his opponent in the Texas primary, I think it's this weekend, is kind of a scuzzbucket and a liar and a cheat. So I think he's got a really good chance in the primary, especially. I'm excited that he could be coming back. He's a great man. I really appreciate him very much. I've had a lot of time to talk with him. Supporting him is totally worthwhile. And then finally, just keep track of, TSA watchdog sites like TSAtyranny.com. And then, of course, Stop Austin Scanners. Mm-hmm. Look for Rand Paul's ramping up of his campaign against the TSA. Although I would say the most important thing we can do at this point is going towards sort of nullification type efforts from the state level. I think that is a great way of fighting back against the feds. And on this issue, it may become, I really think this could be a spark of something bigger for issues that are not the TSA. Obviously, the federal government has overextended its bounds in pretty much every possible way. And we who are liberty-minded have to always be looking for ways to unite people together in common issues and get people to realize that, liberty is better than tyranny. Duh. And so stuff like the TSA can be an ignition point for all sorts of different stuff. And so I just urge you, if you're in Texas, get involved here with the efforts, pay attention to what's going on. If we get David Simpson back, we're going to be, it took us, think about it like this. Last session, it took a corrupt governor, a corrupt lieutenant governor, a corrupt Speaker of the House, and the entire Department of Justice to shut us down.
Right, right.
We're going to come back and we're going to be twice as strong. They're going to have to pull out all the stops next time. Mark my words, we're going to make them pay.
Yeah, I totally agree. The time is now. This is a movement that anybody can get involved with, and it reaches everywhere. Everybody is affected by these things. So Norman Horn, StopAustinScanners.org. Thanks for joining us. You have a great day.
Thank you, sir. It's great being with you.
All right. And that's our show for today. Remember, you can get involved. You can do, Norman was just a guy who got sick and tired of going through these scanners and looking at them and studied up on them and saw that the government wasn't telling the truth. We know that. They lie about everything. Anytime they tell you it's for your own good, they're lying to you. Just remember that. Just even if you don't think they're lying to you, just think, well, they're probably lying to me at this point. So keep that in mind. We launched Prison Planet, or PlanetInfowars.com this week. It's our social network. Get on there. I've got to get on and get my little, I don't even know what they call these things. What are they called when you join these activism sites? My little page, my profile. So I got to make my profile. I'll be on there and I'll be talking as much as I can. I am pretty busy running the news and other things here in the office, but I love doing it. I love being a part of the InfoWar, and please consider supporting us if you're watching this on YouTube. You can become a PrisonPlanet.tv member. One thing that I think is amazing is that we have an archive of every nightly news show we have done since September. We started this, and you could go back and watch any show. You could read about the description of the show. It tells you what's going on. I mean, look at that. It's just a treasure trove of information. So it's really good. That's a tool for you to use. You can do what you need with those. If you're a member, spread the word about the broadcast. Spread the word about liberty. If you see somebody doing something not liberty-minded, say, hey, man, think liberty-minded. What's going on here? Let's wake up. Let's stop being slaves. And that's all I have to say today. I will see you guys next time. I guess I'll see you on the flip side. This is Rob Dew for InfoWars Nightly News. Good night.